Hello, my name is Raymond Karchevsky, and I'm a living Christ. Today is the 15th of March, 2016, and I should like to talk to you about what is a Christ. Just what is Christ consciousness? We all have it, but most of us are in denial of it. We live our lives in a state of amnesia. We have forgotten who we are, and we have thus been caused to be confused in our relationships. We look at the world, and there is us and them, you and I. There is no you and I, there is only we. We are the collective consciousness of all mankind, all men who have lived since the beginning of time, are living now, and shall live for eternity. This is not some joke, some fantasy that I am proposing to you. This is truth, the what is. If we experience the what is in our consciousness, our individual consciousness that we believe to be separate, one from the other, but in fact, we are all one. That's not a concept. You see, the spiritual view of life is that truth is eternal. Truth is what is, without being determined or explained or expressed or judged by the intellect. You see, the intellect that most of us, and I am using it at this point in order to communicate with you, is absolutely necessary for men to communicate with one another. There's a downside to the intellect, you see. Aside from requiring the intellect to resolve ideas, concepts, representations of what is, which is truth, you see, we remove ourselves from the actuality of what is, truth itself, the unfolding moment of the eternal moment of now. And we then operate from a secondary position of intellect, the transient, time-bound, linear, divided and opposing, conflicting environment. That is how we have been trained to view the world. But you see, that is a fictitious world. That's not the real world. It's not what is. It is the reflection of what is as we perceive it to be according to our conditioned ideas. Ideas that have been cultured into us by different languages, different systems of thought, national, religious, race-wise. You see, it all comes down to separation, division, and the conflict which accompanies such division. That only occurs within the dualistic, time-bound intellect, the realm of hell, the satanic ruled realm of hell that we call society. We all live in it, and the test of spiritual understanding is why we are living in hell. You see, the spirit is one. The spirit is what may be called holistic, complete. It is what understanding is. When you understand something, there is no contradiction. There is no conflict. There is no separation, no argumentation. That's all found in the intellect, is it not? Surely, as you live your lives, your daily lives, you realize what realm of consciousness that you are living in. How many of you are happy? How many of you know what happiness is? Is it a fleeting moment of liberation from stress? If it is, it might be a trick of the mind, a hypnotic trick. Such hypnotic tricks are played on you all the time by those who condition your mind and tell you how you must think if you are to belong to the faction that is ruling you. The Americans, the Russians, the Chinese, the Muslims, the Catholics, the Christians. All these are mind-controlling, satanic mind-controlling factions, and you are completely unaware of it. Most of you go through your lives worshiping such fictitious ideas, and you argue with everyone who is not of the same mindset. That is how you, in your own personal lives, create hell on earth. And you wonder, why me? Why is all this happening to me? Hell, you're creating it. You're completely oblivious to your ignorance of who you truly are. You see, you believe yourselves to be an American, or Russian, or Chinese. But you is a simple man or woman of truth, a Christ, an holistic being who has come into this world, and once out of the womb you are assailed by mind-controlling behavioral modification. And you believe that to be your world. You accept it to be your world. You consent to your own hell. And you may well be completely unaware of it. So my purpose in this talk today is to point out that if it doesn't bring you holistic understanding, where there's nothing to argue about, you see, when you speak truth, there's no argument. Oh, there will be assaults by the intellect of others who don't understand what truth is. They will assault you in order to upset you, make you angry, make you oppose them in their assault. And at that point you are seduced into hell, are you not? But a Christ, a simple man or woman of truth, is immune from such attacks. For they do understand what truth is, and they are that. Jesus of Nazareth said that. But he said, I am the truth, life, and the way. You see, all of those words, which are reflections, contain the truth, the holistic energy that cannot be disputed, cannot be argued, cannot be stripped away from you, for it is what is, and you are it. That is the nature of happiness. That is life itself. When you rise above the satanically ruled intellect, which causes you to strip away the holistic understanding of what is as it is unfolding in every eternal moment of now, and causes you to reflect upon it, to create an artificial reality where you are the arbiter of truth. You see, it's an illusion. If there is truth and the arbiter of truth, is there not dualism? Two, not one, but two. And that divisive quality of opposites, which are the creator of conflict and contradiction. That is the world that you live in, most of you anyway. I speak to you, and most of you don't understand me at all, because you have too much contradiction imposed upon your consciousness. You're not clear. You try to fit me into your conditioned reality, and you cannot. And that inability to pigeonhole me into your view of what a Christ should be is what creates your conflict, your contradiction, your anger, your frustration, your self-judgment, and you spin off into endless contradiction, endless illusion. That is the world that you live in, but I assure you, that is hell. Why is it that you cannot just be who you are? First of all, you don't know who you are. You don't understand truly what I'm speaking about. You can only understand the ideas that have been conditioned into you and the ideas that you believe in, which create the image of who you wish the world to see. Such as the nonsense, restrictions, the violence, the suffering of your world, is not my world at all, you see. It's not that I oppose your world, for I do not oppose anything. That's your idea, not mine. I am beyond all those superficial ideas. And you say that's impossible. Why is it impossible? Because I'm living? Because I'm not a word on a page? I'm not a dead idea of someone who once lived? Which you can accept, because that's the world you live in. You live in the world of images, of ideas, of counterfeit energies which create your counterfeit reality. You see, you are of that world. I may be in your world as you perceive me, but I certainly am not of it. That's a tough pill to swallow. For most of you are the god of your own particular hellish world. That's how you see yourself. That is the false promise of Satan in his seduction of you into the world of hell, into the world of intellect. And that is where you will stay forever, forever, eternally, until you come to a point where you step out of time. You become quiet. The noise of the intellect ceases to be, and you are all that is left, and you are what is. You are infinite in the what is. You find there is no beginning, no time, no end to it. You have always been that, and you shall always be that. That is the true God, if you want to call it God. But what it is infinite intelligence. Why is that so hard for you to grasp? Why must you search out leaders who tell you that they know and you don't know, but they're going to take care of you? They're going to tell you how you must live, how you must think. And in return, you will pledge to them your life. You will be pledging the benefits of your labor. You will agree to be a slave to another man who says he has power over you, and you have no choice but to capitulate, or you will be punished. Armies are made of such men. Police agencies are made of such men. They are ignorant men who have not yet learned who they truly are, and so they must go through the travail of ignorance and stupidity, yes, stupidity, before they rise above the results of their actions. There's only cause and effect in the world of duality, and they are both contained within the truth of what is, which is non-dualistic. When you are clear, your clarity allows you to see what is without the divisions of doubt. You have transcended the Satanic intellect. You have risen above the ignorance of the world, of mankind ruled by Satan. and you have arrived at Christ consciousness. That is the consciousness of the subconscious mind, you see. How many of you know of your subconscious mind? Even the word itself, subconscious, indicates that it cannot be known. You understand the barrier of that? How it keeps one prideful of their ignorance when they live in the realm of the known, the conscious mind, the intellect, rather than live in the unconscious? Well, you see, you are all living in both simultaneously, but the subconscious is ignored in favor of living in the conscious mind, the conscious intellect, which is based in division and conflict. You live there by choice, you see. Satan cannot whisk away your freedom, your sovereignty, your ability to be truth, unless you consent to it. That is your original sin. When you leave the clarity of what is, of truth, and accept instead the conflicted idea of what is, the dualistic, intellectual grasp of that enormous, infinite intelligence of who you truly are. Much is being spoken presently, in present day, of the coming cataclysm, the end of time. Hell, that's all mind control, satanic mind control to boot. It is not true. It has never been true. It is only an idea. And if you don't hold that idea, it doesn't apply to you. It's as simple as that. If you want to change your world, all you have to do is be quiet and allow your God-given infinite intelligence that is only found in the subconscious mind to form the idea that you use in order to communicate that idea to another. But you are not bound solely by the limiting words which identify that idea. You see, when you do that, you will know what love is. Love is truth. Love is God. Love is Christ consciousness. It's up to you as to how you want to live. If you choose the way of the intellect, I can't save you. It's not my part. It's not my thing to save you. See, I am merely reflecting to you who you truly are, but you doubt it, and therefore you remain separate from me. In fact, when you and I come to understand that which is being presented indisputably, there is no you and there is no me. There is no division. And you and I are one. That is the love of Christ consciousness. Use it or lose it. and take the responsibility for what comes. When you live, you choose to live in an ignorant state of consciousness. As for me, I shall continue to plug along. For what else can one do when one lives in eternity?